Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and this is the second part of the December 2 o'clock show. In the previous episode, we just finished making the 3 pockets for this. And now what we're going to do in this one is in this video is we're going to work on stuffing the pockets now. And we did decide to start putting 2 photo mats in each pocket in a previous class. So I just need to quickly print some photo pockets before we can go forward. And so what I do is I'm just going to look through paper left over from other projects and find some sheets that I don't think I'm going to use anytime soon, and then print on the back. And I know specifically in this one I had some prints that got messed up. Yeah, these all are the ones that got messed up. So I can just go to the back here and grab some of the prints that didn't print quite right. They printed with like lines through them and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see, but this has lines going all the way through it. So that's just what I'm looking for. Any print that I know I'm not really going to use. So this one also has lines going through it. All right. So I need to do that. And then all I do is I just cut them down to 10.5. And I have a I've just made in Photoshop a template of 4 photo mats on one 10.5-inch sheet, and that's what I use. So I'm just going to quickly get those started, and then we'll be able to proceed from there. I think part of the reason I've been running out of so many of these verticals is I use horizontal much more. Just my personally I take more horizontal pictures than vertical. And so because of that, I prioritize horizontal pictures typically, or I try to have a mix. But this album, because of its shape, you really can only have vertical photos. So, 'tis what it is. Tis what it is. And once we get our first one printed, then we can get going. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. So I'm going to put it at 6 1/4 and cut up to 4 1/4. And then this last one's just easier to cut that way. All right. So now we can go ahead and make a tape bracelet. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and keep feeding the photos through. So I'm going to need a total of, let's see, 6 times 3. So I think, or 6 times 4 is 24. So I need, or 3 times 4 is 12. That's how many I need. Because there's 3 pockets, 2 per pocket, 2 double sides, so 4 photo mats per pocket. Yeah, 12. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go. I think what I'll do is once I have talked to them and figured out what they want, I'll just go look at a bunch of really cool brunch recipes and try and figure out how I can do a brunchy appetizer party, so that we can do that Christmas morning. And then hopefully, you know, everyone can have a good time. Because it'd be nice if we could, you know, have some time to kind of calmly get ready and not be just rushing around all morning from one thing to the next thing, you know. Because I'm not as interested in rushing all around for the holidays anymore. You know, I just kind of want to, I think we're just all putting too much pressure on ourselves. Or, you know, because it's like, there's got to be ways we can make this easier, you know. There's got to be. I mean, not if you enjoy doing a big dinner, like I enjoy throwing a fancy dinner party. But that, like, that's, but I'll tell you what, I don't necessarily love, I don't love doing it for the holidays as much, because everyone is like so, like if I throw a dinner party, okay, like when I used to throw those really fancy dinner parties, you guys remember, we called them the pre-Frenchist dinner parties, because all the food was like classical French cooking, and then they were like, you know, we hired my brother to be the bartender and do the service and everything. Like we made those really fancy. Those were a lot of fun, but those were a lot of fun because we got to like challenge ourselves with interesting recipes and stuff. It's like, I'm tired of kind of doing the same stuff all the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just whiny. Maybe I'm just a Grinch. Maybe I'm just a Grinch now. How many, are any of you, have you ever been in Grinch mode? But it's like, I don't want to make green bean casserole again. I just don't want to do it. I like eating it, you know, but like, I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. Someone help me. Someone help me get in the Christmas spirit, in the holiday spirit. Maybe I need to make cookies. Maybe I needed to make cookies and get myself in the holiday spirit somehow, because I'm not. There's just been too much going on the last few months around here, and I'm just not in it. I'm not feeling it. So. My sister wrapped some presents yesterday, and she gave them to me to put under the Christmas tree. There is no Christmas tree, by the way, so I just put them under one of the cat trees. She was like, is this what we're doing instead of a Christmas tree? And I said yes. That's what we're doing. We're just going to put the presents under a cat tree, and we're going to put Marcel up at the top, and he'll be the Christmas angel. So. Your daughter-in-law decorated with Grinch stuff? That would be so cute. I would be totally fine with that. It's okay, Bev. I was able to interpret it because I speak internet. Grinchmas. Yeah. I'm in Grinchmas mode. I'm in Grinchmas mode. I need to decorate for Grinchmas. Just so everyone knows what to expect. All right, so we got one row of 6 done. So now we'll just do another row of 6. I don't know why it's funny because I see people who really, you know, like decorate beautifully their whole house and everything. And I would love for my house to be decorated for Christmas, but I just don't want to do it. So that's my problem. I don't like the process of it. Yeah. I just want to hang out with the family and see each other and have a good time. Like, I'd rather we all play a game together in the afternoon than be running around because we didn't have time because we were busy cooking and stuff. You know what I mean? You know, I would like to just chill and relax, visit with everyone, and not have people being stressed out in the kitchen, you know? That's really it. I don't want to not celebrate Christmas. You know, I just don't want to, I don't want to host Christmas. Like, and be responsible. I don't want to host a traditional Christmas and be responsible for all of this stuff and, you know, all of that. I don't know why we can't just go have like a beautiful dinner and go to church and have a beautiful service and then all go to bed and get all rested and then get up in the morning and work together on finishing up brunch. And a lot of this brunch stuff we've talked about can easily be prepared ahead of time. So we don't even all have to be doing it first thing in the morning. And then we can all get in our comfy Christmas tees and Christmas pajama pants. And no one's going to have to clean up. Exactly. Exactly. And then we can all get dressed and go over to Damien's brother's house and, you know, have a dinner with them. Take them some cookies or if she wants us to bring something like a side or whatever, you know, we'll come up with something to take to that. But yeah, I don't want to be stressed out anymore around the holidays. That's really it. I don't want to experience holiday stress anymore. So that's kind of where I am. Especially because we all had a lot of stress just recently, our whole family. So And then when these nails fall off, I'm going to replace them with the Nutcracker nails. I saved the Nutcracker nails from last year, I want to say. So, or maybe 2 years ago, if you've been around long enough to remember the Nutcracker nails. They will be making a return. And I'm hoping I'll be able to have them on next week and the week after that, so that we'll have some festive holiday nails. I told Mr. Lifeguard that I wanted to one day have a house where we could just put a sheet over the fully decorated Christmas tree and store it somewhere all year long, so I don't have to decorate it. You know, so when it's time, we can just drag it from whatever like attic or closet it's in and then just bring it out and be like, yay, we decorated for Christmas. Although I knew someone whose neighbors had a holiday decorating service. Now that sounds like it costs like money. Like that sounds like a rich person thing. But yeah, they would, you know, right after Thanksgiving, the people from this service would come and decorate their whole house inside and out and then leave. And I said, well, that sounds magical. Well, Bev, I've thought about doing a seasonal tree because, like, I know people leave their tree up all year and then sometimes it has, like, Easter egg stuff on it and whatever, you know, or, like, there's, all right, so how many of these do we have? We have 1, 2, we need 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect, okay. But I don't know about all that because then that sounds like you have to like do it and undo it. So your mama had a company come out to do her trees. Okay. So maybe it's like, maybe I just need to research that. Oh no, she leaves it to say decorate. So it's just her Christmas tree and it's out all year. And you just have to, you just deal. Well, that's fine too. If I ever have a guest bedroom, that's where the Christmas tree is going to live. So when people come to visit in July, they'll just have a Christmas tree in there. Well, now there's an idea. What if you decorated your guest bedroom full Christmas? And it just stayed, like put a red and black buffalo plaid quilt on the bed. And like all the pictures on the walls are all Christmas themed. And there's all, like you put like Christmas scent candles in there. Christmas lights, put some Christmas lights around the top of the room, around the baseboards and stuff. And then that's just your theme. It's just your funny theme. And then when it's actually Christmas, you just drag the tree out of there and put it in the living room. So hers was through a garden center. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I'm liking this Winter Wonderland guest room idea. I don't have, you know, a guest room. So there is a stumbling block right there. But in my theoretical future house that has a guest room, I think this is what we're doing. I think we're going to just have, yeah, I'll just say you're in the Christmas room in a way that implies that there's other rooms they could have been in, and then they just don't need to know that they're that it's just a Christmas room. I'll just have, we can put a little TV in there, and we can put, like, it can just play Netflix Christmas movies with like a Roku or a Google Chromecast or something like that. It can just always be playing Christmas Christmas movies. It can work. I think we're coming up with the solution, number one. We're brainstorming the solution. I like what we're doing here. See, this is the kind of creative consultation that I want and need in my life. So, plus they would think they were so special to be put in the Christmas room. Yeah. And anyone who came down at actual Christmas time would be like mind blown over how you decorated the guest room just for them. How you just went all out just for them. Donna says, I have canvas bags for both my trees that get covered and hauled to the walk-in attic. I'm going to try to leave most of the ornaments on this year, but remove anything breakable or expensive. Yeah, well, we have beautiful blown glass, vintage blown glass ornaments. We have a whole set of them. Mr. Lifeguard and I, and they're gorgeous. They're gold. They're red blown glass with gold accents. They're wonderful. But ever since we've been living with my sister, we haven't had those out because of the cats. So now we just have plastic ornaments. So I wouldn't even have to worry about anything breakable or expensive, because we can't have anything breakable or expensive on the tree because the cats will destroy it. So, you know, if I had a space to stuff a tree, my problem is I don't have a space to stuff a tree. So, but I would be all for it. Yeah, no, I think we're on to something with the Christmas, the holiday guest room, you know. I guess you could, like, that could be an interesting way to store all your seasonal decor, although you would need a lot of guest rooms to do it, because if you were actually going to have different rooms for different seasons, that would be a lot of different rooms. So probably not the answer for every holiday. But whatever your biggest holiday is, you could do it for your biggest holiday. The one you like decorating for the most. All right, so last two. And then what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll find the like Poe and Raven stuff in the collection and use those embellishments on this layout. You're going to wire them on with pipe cleaners. That's a good idea. Melanie says, I put some of those cheap white satin balls on our tree one year. As fast as I'd put them on, the cats would slam dunk them across the room from inside the trees. That was the first year of the naked tree. Yeah, what we did is we found shatterproof plastic ornaments, and that's what we've been using since the cats have shown up. And now we got the green wire ornament hangers. And what we do is we twist them around the branch, like a twist tie, and that helps. But the cats do still get them off. And, you know, you hear them clatter and crash around as they play soccer with them. All right. So I'm going to just take these 4 photo mats and we'll just set them a little bit to the side. And now we're going to work on, now that we've got all our photo mats done, we're going to go ahead and work on embellishments. So first things first is I'm going to pull out from here anything we can use to put on the backs of things. So like this says the Raven on it, so we might use that. And then these, because they are just like words, we've got those. And I'm going to, the newsprint, well, the newsprint is a different tone, so I'm going to go ahead and not do the newsprint. Rather, I'll do this one. And then, you know, we can back, and then here's another one. Oh, there's quite a few with words. And then these envelopes, I actually need to remind myself to try and figure out a way to get those incorporated, because they are kind of cool. And then I just am going to look here and see. These are the spells. So we'll just go ahead and leave the spells because we've already done a spell themed one. All right. All right, so I'm going to leave these on my desk. And then let's grab another. Oh man, this is so annoying. Guess what was underneath that stack of paper? I did print enough. I thought I did. I thought I printed enough. Sigh. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Here we have some of the scraps, you know, from last week that we used to back things and such. So, don't need to worry about this so much. I'm just curious if there's anything in here that's like useful as an embellishment. Not really, so, okay. I'm gonna pull this out just because I would love to use that coffin somewhere. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. All right. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's just keep going through our various stacks. Something like that might work. Maybe that. I do want to go ahead and keep out these journaling type pieces because we can still add journaling spots. All right, so now we're looking for anything Poish. Maybe her. and the skull. All right. Okay, so this is Poe. Oh, here's the raven. And then this one has ravens as well. We might not be able to grab this. This is not going to fit, I don't think, in its full size, but we may be able to do something with it. Even if we just do it as like a bust of Poe. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab this arsenic one. That's the only one that really has anything to do with Poe at all. And it's only kind of tangentially, like arsenic was a problem at the time of the time. All right, but you know. All right, what have we got? Got another. I don't think. All right, here's Poe again. Raptor, a mouse tail, a black crow. I'll grab the mouse tail. I'm thinking of the Pit and the Pendulum. Those are rats, but you know, we'll see. Anything that's kind of like here's a rat tail and a raven eyeball. And a raven feather. Anything else? If there's anything with like a heart for the telltale heart, that could be something. I'm just going to kind of keep looking and see what I see. So those ornaments that you're talking about, Melanie, are those to keep kids from looking, but they scare the cats away? That's funny. All right. Let's see. More spells. Go ahead. Those there. Nothing here. I mean, there's a raven, but I want something bigger. We'll go ahead and we'll definitely use the book off of this sheet. Right, go ahead and put that there. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything in this that could be considered Poe-ish. I think this one's mostly like hocus pocusy, but we'll see. October 31st. Yeah. There's not anything that really strongly calls Poe to mind from that. Okay, now from this little stack here, I might grab one of these women, kind of thinking, not her, she's on a stage. I don't know, just like an Annabelle Lee kind of vibe. I'll just leave her out. We'll just see. Okay, let's keep going. I know there's more Poe stuff in here, or at least I think there is. All right. Okay. So this is a Sacred Heart, but we may go ahead and grab it. It's not exactly like I'd be more interested in like an anatomical heart than this, but we'll see. This is also kind of small, so maybe we'll stick it to something, but as it is, I don't see myself using it in like its current state, but we'll see. Creepy dolls. Okay, so we do have a Poe quote on this, but you know, I'd have to stick it to something. I don't know. Not feeling strongly about it. Oh, here's Poe, but smaller. Okay, we got that. All right, got this stack. Just gonna quickly flip through here and see what we've got that's Poe-like, Raven-like, Heart-like. I have an Epson Workforce ET 16500, and that printer Epson does not make it, and what's more, they don't really have a replacement for it. They seem to have just kind of discontinued it and printers like it. However, I did recently do some research and find a printer that I think is like the most comparable thing that Epson has. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go look at the number right now, and I'll be able to tell you what I think is the printer most similar to my printer that Epson sells. Because I did recently just kind of figure this out. So let me go look it up. I added it to, and then I'll add it to my Amazon list, idea list, so that it'll always be linked. Okay. The Epson ET 8500 is the one that I think is the closest to what I have. The Epson ET 8500, which is interesting because mine is the 16500, so I wonder if they are numbered similarly for some reason. Oh wait, oh my gosh, what? I might be wrong about this, guys. I'm sorry. I might be totally wrong. I'm not sure this thing prints. Oh no, it does. Maximum media size 13 by 19. Okay. No, it is. It is. So this is the one that I think is the most similar. So I'm going to add it to the Kathryn Scraps idea list, which is always linked in every video on YouTube, including this one, including the live shows, I mean. But I'm also going to... now, just understand, I have not used this printer. This is not my printer. You know, it just seems to be the printer that is the most similar to what I use. So it's now in the idea list. So if you're watching this video as a YouTube recording, like not live, when you click the link in the video description to my favorites on Amazon, then you'll see this printer there. Oh wait, I didn't actually add it. Oh no, I did add it. So it is added. But specifically, I was looking for, what did Epson have that had a scanner, that had a wide format, and that had the eco tanks. So those are my top 3 things that I think are the most similar to my printer. And that's the scanner, the eco tank, and the wide format. So as long as it could print 13 by 19, had the ink vessel on the side instead of using cartridges, and this one has a scanner. Mine has a fax machine. Which I don't think anyone's gonna miss that function. We've used that like one time, so don't worry about it. But you know, I think this is very similar. I think this is very similar to what I'm using. And it is a photo printer. It does say it can print a photo, and it can print borderless, but 8.5 by 11. So I don't think it can print borderless on a 13 by 19. So. But yeah, it'll take all the same papers and everything. So, you know, and then I've used Epson printers since Epson's wide format photo printers. I've been using them since 2008. So, I've been using their wide format photo printers for a long time, and I've never had a problem. So I only ever use their inks. So I don't use discount ink. I always use their inks. And it is totally worth it to get their eco tank, because ink is so much cheaper. Just so very much cheaper that way. So I wonder if I could show you the eco tank so you could see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get it on camera. I'm gonna just try it really quickly to show you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the side of my printer. I'm gonna walk over to it so I can point. This thing right here This is the ink tank, okay? And so the way it works is it lifts up, and you see it has these little caps, and each of these caps covers a well of ink. And so the way you refill it is with ink bottles, okay? And so you would take the cap off the color you want to refill, and you just set it right here. There's a little spot right there where you set it. And then you unscrew the ink and you pour it into the tank, okay? And then that's how it gets refilled. And you can even refill the ink while it's printing. You don't have to pause printing to add ink. It just always will take ink, okay? So that's how it works. And the ink bottles are not expensive, so I'll tell you in a second how much it costs to refill the tank. I have done the math on this over the years. I have a post somewhere where I've figured out what the price works out to in the end, but okay. Yeah, so I've always loved all my Epson wide format printers, so I've never had a problem with them. And if my printer were to die today, I would replace it with the 8500. That's what I would replace it with. Okay, so that the printer that I'm suggesting is the printer that I would buy if my printer were to die today, because my printer's been discontinued and there's no exactly one-to-one like newer version replacement or whatever. So, you know, the 8500, like I said, I have the ET 16th ET. If you see an Epson printer, if it has an ET in it, that stands for Eco Tank, which is that thing I just showed you on the side of the printer. Okay. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about the difference in price between cartridges and Eco Tanks. Because I did do the math on this, so I just want to okay, here it is. Okay, so according to Epson, one set of bottles for the ET 16500, so once again, realize that I'm talking about my printer, which is not available, so this is not going to be necessarily one-to-one with the printer I just showed you, but this just gives you an idea. One set of bottles of EcoTank ink for the ET 16500 replaces 50 cartridges, 50 sets of cartridges. Okay, so the black refill bottle for my printer is about $20, and the color bottles are each about $13. So a complete set works out to about $60. On my cartridge printer, cartridges cost way, way, way more than that. Let me see if I can see the last time I bought cartridges, what I paid for them. Because cartridges are where the money is. Okay, so when you're, in terms of like doing this kind of printing, okay, so the last time I bought cartridges was in 2015, and each cartridge cost $14, and the printer took 6 cartridges. So even just one set of cartridges was more expensive on my old trimmer, or on my cartridge printer from Epson. And like I said, these bottles replace multiple cartridges. And I got a refurbished one. Yes, Melanie, there is a stop I'm full. Okay, so there's been some more questions coming in. So Melanie asked, is there a stop I'm full marker on the tank so you can't overflow it? Yes, there is. There is a stop I'm full marker. And actually the stop I'm full marker is a good 1/2 inch below the top of the tank. Okay, so so they have you stopping before you're even close to the top of the tank. Because I've actually, you can see through the side where the stop I'm full line is, and it's 1/2 inch below the top of the tank. So they really also give you a ton of room. Yes, I got a refurbished one. So the ET 16500 at the time that I bought it cost $1,000, and I bought a refurbished one from Epson for $599, I think, or $550, something like that. So I saved a bunch of money by buying a refurbished one. Okay, so Jill says she has the ET 8550. Okay, so I'm just going to go look at that at Epson and see what the difference is between that and the 8500. Is the 8550 might just be newer? Yeah, so the 8550 does look like it's newer. It's on sale right now on Epson for $69.99. I'm trying to... I wonder if I could compare printers on Epson. If they'll let me compare an 8500 to an 8550. Okay, so according to Epson, they have two. Okay, I've got them. So the 8500, they're selling on their website for $700, and the 8550 they sell for $800, but they're both on sale right now for $100 off. And I'm trying to see what the major difference is between them, and I'm wondering, like, they don't have like a really specific comparison difference, so I don't know. I'm just gonna search Epson ET 8500 or 8550. What's the difference? Yes, that's what I want to know. Okay, so I found an article. Let's see if they're going to tell us. Okay, so the major difference between them, this is very useful information because it actually is probably worth that additional $100 to get this. The major difference between them is while they're both wide format printers, the 8500 can only print borderless on up to 8.5 by 11, whereas the 8550 can print borderless on 13 by 19. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the 8550, I'm going to take the 8500 off the wish list and put, or off the idea list, and put the 8550 on it because I think the 8550 is the better recommendation and is the one that's more similar to the printer that I'm using right now, because mine can print borderless on 13 by 19. So I'm just going to change it on the idea list. Okay. But if you don't think you're going to print borderless 12 by 12, so I don't print borderless 12 by 12 that often. I usually just put a 12 by 12 on a 13 by 19. And if you don't think you're going to, basically here's the decision that you need to make. Because they use the same inks. The decision you need to make is, am I going to want to print borderless 12 by 12? If so, if that's important to you, then you're going to want to get the 8550. If you think what you're going to really be doing is buying the 13 by 19 sheets and putting like a 12 by 12 on part of it and filling the other part of it with your embellishments, or just printing on the 13 by 19 sheets and not worrying about printing borderless 12 by 12, then you can save the $100 and get the 8,500. That's kind of what it's going to break down to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put them both on the list, and I'll put a note on the list that says something about the difference between them. And then we'll go from there. So so let me just go make a note. Because I can actually add a little note. All right, so I'm going to put a comment on the 8,500 that just does not print borderless. I'm going to say it prints 13 by 19, but not borderless over 8.5 by 11. And then on the other one, I'm going to say prints borderless 13 by 19. And that way you'll know the difference. Prints borderless 13 by 19. All right. Okay, so there you go. So that's the printers, and that's the major difference between them. And if you want the 8550, which is the more expensive one, it is on sale for $6.99 on both Epson and on Amazon. And Amazon's going to let you use a firm to buy it if you want to break up the payments into payment, if that's something you want. They do have an Affirm link on the page, it looks like, if you want to make payments instead of just paying outright for the whole thing. So there you go. So that's all the info. So but yeah, that is the major difference. That is why I strongly recommend these EcoTank printers over the cartridge printers, because over the lifetime of the printer, that is going to add up to hundreds and hundreds of dollars in ink savings. So that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Okay. All right. So okay, so for this, all right, so now we're ready to get going. So there was a little printer interlude. Okay. So we'll go ahead, and it's not going to be a bag anymore. But it's going to be, I'm just going to cut out this frame. But yeah, they are very expensive, but I've been very happy with my EcoTank printer for printing these papers to use in these albums. They've been great. It's been great. Yeah, so we're going to be able to use that. Okay. All right, so let's just start backing these and cutting them out. So let's start with Edgar and see how we want to do this. I kind of like the idea. I mean, we could cut him out on this piece of paper, but I kind of like the idea of him as a bust. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make him a bust. All right. All right, so, but yeah, if you have any other questions about photo printers, you know, just go ahead and ask. But like I said, the main thing is that those tanks are really, it's, even if you have to buy every single ink at the same time, those tanks are just so much more affordable overall. And it used to be if you had to replace every cartridge, I remember sometimes it would cost me over $100 if I had to replace every single cartridge all at once. So, all right, so on the back of Edgar, I'm going to put newsprint. And I bought my first Epson printer in 2008, and then I replaced it in, I want to say 2018, 2019, somewhere around there is when it finally croaked and I had to replace it. So it lasted a long time. Yeah, they do take up a lot of space, Gretchen. Gretchen says, I'd like to get one, but I don't know where I'd put it. Yeah, they do take up quite a bit of space. These large printers. That thing that I have mine sitting on is actually a freestanding kitchen island from IKEA. So that's what it's on. And I had to put a stack of books and games under the feeder at the top, because Kitty, whenever she would sit on the feeder, it would creak, and so I put that stack there to hold it up so that she wouldn't like snap the feeder off over time or whatever. Okay, yes. And then, yeah, that's cool. There we go. That's a good use. We did good. All right, so we got that, which we might use later. Yeah, I can understand not wanting to run down to the basement every time you want to print. That totally makes sense. And it's not like you can really put a printer this size in a cabinet either. They're just so large. You know, they don't even really fit on printer stands. Like I said, I had to put mine on an island. It's on a kitchen island. Now, I don't think that the... oh, yeah, that's going to look good. We'll put them on that side. What if we put the heart on the book cover? Yes. Yes. Kitty's diet is going well. Kitty's lost over a pound, so she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. The feeders have just really been a huge game changer. She has a lot less food anxiety, and I think maybe she was just afraid, like now that she knows that's her food and no one else can touch it or eat it, I think maybe she's not like eating all the food in sight. So I think maybe she was always afraid like she wouldn't get enough food. Now what's funny is Tiny Cat has gained weight. So now Tiny Cat has to go on just a little tiny diet because she's a tiny cat. But so we definitely think like Kitty was eating some of the food for Tiny Cat. And then Marcel, he gets, I mean, he just is like snarfing food 24/7 and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's going to be the size of a cheetah when he's done. Damien said, do you think they sold us a cheetah? And I was like, I don't know, because he's going to be so big. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. He's just a giant kitty. I know, poor Tiny. Poor Tiny. So Tiny's so small that she can't really go on a diet. You know, I found a veterinary chart for how to reduce her food. Without, it's not technically a diet because she's too little. She can have her food, I guess I consider it a diet, but they don't consider it a diet, I guess. So it's not like for weight loss exactly. So, because she's really so small that she can't really get restricted too much, I guess. But she can get a little bit of restriction, so. Yeah, we have no idea what he is, so, you know, I mean, other than a tabby. So we really don't know. But yeah, so Tiny will just get a small reduction in her food, not a lot. She doesn't eat most of her food anyway. She's really not a big eater, but I think maybe she just, you know, wasn't quite getting enough food before. Well, she was clearly getting the right amount of food before, and now that she doesn't have to fight anyone for food, she's getting too much food. So. But yeah, Marcel's almost 8 pounds now. And he's still very, very much a little baby kitten, you know, so. He's still very much a kitten. So we'll see. He's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. All right. All right, so we'll use the glue to stick this down. And then we'll put journaling paper on the back. All right, there we go. All right, so we'll put some journaling paper on the back. And then we'll cut it out. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'll just tape it and stick it down, cut it out. That's interesting because Donna, aren't the ladies usually larger than the man? So Donna says she has a friend who has 3 Yorkies and the male is huge, and they had pet DNA done on him, and he is 100% Yorkie. But I thought with Yorkies it was the males that were small and the ladies that were large. But I guess I don't really, because I don't really know. We looked into getting a Yorkie at one point when I was thinking maybe I would get some kind of small dog. Because, you know, I have major pet allergies. But we ended up not getting a Yorkie. They're so cute, though. They're so cute. Now we just have all the mangy cats from the neighborhood. So, the latest drama. Oh, you guys don't know. There's a Mittens 2.0. There's a Mittens 2.0, friends. One night, tiny cat, I walk out to the front of the room. Marcel's acting weird. So I'm like, why are you acting weird, Marcel? So I walk out, and he's freaked out because Tiny Cat is freaked out by something. So Tiny Cat's acting really weird. And so she is alerting. There's no other way to describe it. She's like alerting on the front door. And I look out, I can't see anything, but she is like scared, you know, fully poofed, full aggression, eyes lasered on the door. And there is a bobcat that kind of roams around the neighborhood at night sometimes. So we thought maybe that was it, that she had seen it and it was gone by the time I got there, you know, because I looked out and I didn't see anything. So then a few minutes after that, Kitty starts screaming from the backyard, just like full on, like she used to scream at Mittens, get off my lawn, you know, the full shebang. We run out there and we don't see anything. And then we go check the security camera, and a cat came and rolled around on the driveway and then walked onto the front porch and rolled around on the front porch. And when she walked, and then she walked off to the side of the house. And when she walked off to the side of the house is when Kitty must have seen her and freaked out. So when she was scent marking, he or she was scent marking the front porch, must have been when Tiny Cat was bothered. And then when they walked around the side of the house is when Kitty got upset. And then Kitty was beside herself for days until just kept trying to run out the front door. Every time the front door opened, she tried to run out. So finally, I just let her go outside, and she immediately ran to the driveway and started rolling all over it. So I guess they could smell this cat. Like, I guess the cat like announced that it was in the neighborhood in some like kind of really aggressive way that upset Tiny and Kitty. So they're just not they are not happy. I know. So Mittens 2.0, we now have cat wars again. Meanwhile, Marcel was just running around like, what's up, guys? Like, he seemed totally unbothered, so. Maybe he just figured Kitty and Tiny would protect him. I mean, he was a little bit bothered by Tiny Cat's response. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. I mean, how cool is that? Poe with the book. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. And then the photo mats behind. All right, so there's our start. So this is a good start. Looking good so far. So when we come back tonight, you know, we'll be sifting through the rest of this to find other stuff to put in the two pockets. So we're definitely going to put this one over here, probably this one too. and then we'll just see, we'll just go from there. So when we come back tonight, we'll be working on the rest of the stack, finishing off these 2 pockets. Okay. So that's where we are. So that's, I mean, lots of progress was made. We've got all the photo mats done. We've got all the pockets done. It's literally just embellishments and cover at this point. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. It's been great. So be sure to check the channel for the rest of this playlist if you're watching on YouTube and you're want to see how these coffins were made or anything like that. Or become a member and get access to the archives of all my last shows, thousands of videos, tons of projects like this that we've done over the years. And then I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time, which is roughly 5 hours from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, just check the clock, do the math, and I'll be back in 5 hours. I broadcast live at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time on Thursdays. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a great evening or great weekend, or I'll see you next time. Bye now.